Hello everyone and welcome back to another lesson video. Today we are continuing STAR practice because remember you are coming up to the school to test May 18, which is next Tuesday, all the way through May 21, which is that Friday. You're going to be taking 4 tests because there are 4 STAR tests that you have to take for 8th grade. Okay. Also, another announcement is Renaissance testing is open, and this test is also mandatory, but you can take it whenever you want. I think that it is closing um, somewhere in like the May 20s, I believe, or it may be open into the last day of school. I have absolutely no idea. I'll be honest with you. Whenever I figure out that information, I'll let y'all know. Okay. But like I said in the beginning, we are going to work on inferencing today. Yesterday, we worked on summary and theme. And for inferencing, there's really no tips or tricks to it. It's really just figuring out what's happening in the text first. So there goes your summary skills and applying your own background knowledge to it to read between the lines and sort of make predictions on what's going to happen in the text. A lot of people like to say it is guessing, but it's really making predictions based on evidence. Guessing is you have no idea what's happening, right? But we do know what is happening in this text or in the story because we're reading it, right? The evidence is right in front of us. So I guess you can say it's more of an educated guess because we do have some information instead of just having none at all, okay? So the PowerPoint for today is a little bit different. It's really just examples, like paragraphs and stuff, and where I'm asking you what can you infer and what is happening in the text that leads you to believe that is what is going to happen in the text, or that is what is happening in the text. So, first one is crack. Thunder struck and rain poured. Max stared blankly out the window, trying to contain his emotions that raged like the weather. He was beginning to lose it. Dropping the kite from his hand, Max broke out into full sobs. His mother comforted him. There, Max. We'll just find something else to do. She began to unpack the picnic basket that was on the counter and offered him a sandwich. Max snapped. I don't want a sandwich. A flash from the sky lit up the living room. Boom. Mom sighed. So what is happening in this text, right? Using some of our summary skills, um, Max is looking outside. The weather outside is terrible. It's storming. Max is upset about that, right? And his mom comforts him by pulling out a sandwich from a picnic basket. And Max says, I don't want a sandwich, right? And we can clearly see that Max is holding a kite in his hand. So why is Max upset? Max is upset because he wants to go outside, right? He looks outside the window and he has a kite in his hand. He obviously wanted to play with that kite outside, but the weather isn't letting him. That's why he's upset, and that's why he's crying. And what was Max's mom planning on doing today? We can infer through her having a picnic basket and already having sandwiches made that she probably wanted to have a picnic outside with Max, right, while he was playing with his kite and have a nice day out. It never clearly states that in the text, right? Max never clearly says, "Oh, let's go outside today. I wanted to play with my kite. I'm upset. I can't do that." Right? It doesn't say that, but we can infer because evidence of Max crying, having a kite in his hand while looking at the weather outside, we can infer that he's upset because he can't go outside, right? Next one, Tommy, Mom called out as she walked in the front door. Tommy, she continued shouting. I sure could use some help with these groceries. There was still no reply. Mom walked into the kitchen to put the grocery bags down on the counter when she noticed shattered glass from the picture window all over the living room floor and a baseball not far from there. I'm going to kill you, Tommy, Mom yelled to herself as she realized that Tommy's shoes were gone. So what's happening is Tommy's mom goes in through the door with some groceries, calling out for Tommy to help, but she doesn't hear any reply or see Tommy, but she does see a window broken with a baseball near the shattered glass and Tommy's shoes gone. Right? That's basically what's happening in the text, sort of the key events, key ideas. So what happened to the window? It never clearly states what happened to the window, right? We just know that it's broken and baseball is close to there. So we can infer that a baseball, went through the window and broke it, right? And why did Tommy leave? We can infer that Tommy was the one that threw the baseball because his shoes are gone and he left, right? Why did he leave? Because he knew that his mom would be upset and he didn't want to get in trouble immediately, right? So it never, again, clearly states that Tommy was the one that threw it, but because the baseball it was near the broken window and Tommy's shoes were gone, we can infer that Tommy threw a baseball through the window and left because he didn't want to get in trouble, right? Hopefully this is making sense. Why these are such short paragraphs is I believe that we should work on skills in short paragraphs and short text. And then you could easily translate these skills over to a longer text, right? It just makes more sense to work on shorter paragraphs. Next one. Kyle ran into his house, slamming the door behind him. He threw his book bag on the floor and plopped onto the couch. After 6 hours of playing Grand Larceny 7, he ate some pizza and fell asleep with the slice on his stomach and his feet on his book bag. When Kyle came home from the school the next day, he was noticeably distraught. He balled up his report card and placed it inside a soup can in the garbage. He then flipped the soup can upside down in the garbage can and arranged loose pieces of trash over it. As he plopped down on the couch, he let out a sigh and picked up his controller. And sorry if there's a couple of typos in this. I wrote these up so quick. I forgot to proofread it. Remember, don't follow my example. Always proofread what you write, okay? But what's happening in this text is Kyle gets home, probably from school because he has his backpack, throws it down, starts playing video games, starts eating food, and he gets a report card, throws it away because he's upset, and starts playing video games again, okay? So why is Kyle upset? We can infer that he's upset because of his report card, right? He looked upset whenever he had it, and he immediately threw it out, right? Was his report card good or bad? We can infer that it was bad, right? Because he gets upset about it. Whenever I used to get report cards, I would never be upset about my report card unless my grades are bad, right? Remember, that is... Sorry about the bell. I'll edit it out. So if you just hear me say sorry and didn't hear anything, that's because I edited out that bell, because I know a lot of you hate the sound of that bell on videos. But we can infer that his report card grades are bad, right? How we do that is text evidence and are applying our own background knowledge into it. We've all gotten report cards before, and you know, I've had some bad report card grades before in my past, and I was always upset whenever I had bad grades in my report card. I was never upset if my grades are good, right? That would make no sense. So whenever Kyle is upset because he has his report card and he throws it away, we can infer, because of the text evidence and our own background knowledge, that the grades are probably bad. And why was it like that? We can see that whenever Kyle gets home, he just plays video games, right? He doesn't try to study. He uses his backpack as a footstool, like to rest his feet on. So we can infer that he doesn't really study or does his work, right? And it never clearly states that. It's just, you know, we have to look at the text evidence and make predictions and educated guesses, not just guesses based off of it, because we have the evidence in front of us. We shouldn't just be flat out guessing, right? Why does Kyle put the report card in a soup can and in the trash? Probably because he doesn't want his parents to find it, right? I'm pretty sure a lot of you have, you know, hid grades from your parents before. I've hid grades from my parents before when I was a kid. So again, using the text evidence and using my own background knowledge, I can infer that he doesn't want to get in trouble for his grades, right? Hopefully that one made sense. I think this one is a pretty good paragraph of inferring and seeing how we can put our own background knowledge into it, because I bet you a lot of you can relate to this as well. Next one. Anastasia sat by the fountain in the park with her head in her palms. She was weeping mournfully, and her clothing was disheveled. In between gasps and sobs, Anastasia cried out her name. "Oh, John." And then her cell phone beeps. Her hand ran into her purse and her heart fluttered. The text message was from John. She opened up the message and read the few bare words. I need to get my jacket back from you." Anastasia threw her head into her arms and continued sobbing. So what's happening in this is Anastasia is in a park by herself. She's crying. She looks like a mess. and she's crying over a person named John. She gets a text from John that says, "I need to get my jacket back from you," and she continues crying, right? So what relationship do John and Anastasia have? We can sort of infer that they were dating or they're exes now. And why is Anastasia sad? It's because they probably broke up, right? She's crying over a person named John, and the text message, "I need to get my jacket back from you," throws her into more uncontrollably crying. So we can infer or make a prediction that they were probably dating and they broke up, and that's why she's sad, right? Um, she probably wouldn't be crying if, they were still dating and John was just cold and needed the jacket back, right? That really wouldn't be a reason to cry. So she's probably crying because John just wants his jacket back because they're no longer dating and he doesn't really want to see her anymore, right? Next one was Cassie rolled over in her bed as she felt the sunlight hit her face. The beams were warm in the back of her neck when she slowly realized that it was a Thursday, and she felt a little too good for a Thursday. Struggling to open her eyes, she looked up at the clock. 9:48, she shouted, "Holy cow!" Cassie jumped out of bed, threw on the first outfit that she grabbed, brushed her teeth in 2 swipes, threw her books into her backpack, and then ran out of the door. So, Cassie, what's happening in this text is Cassie wakes up on a Thursday, sees the time is 9:48, jumps out of bed, puts on clothes, grabs her backpack, and runs out the door, right? She's in a hurry. So what problem is Cassie having? We can infer that she's running late, right? Because she wakes up, sees the time is 9:48, and screams, "Holy cow," and starts rushing, right? So we can infer that she's running late. Where is Cassie going? There's one specific line in this text that lets us know where she's going. It's threw her books into her backpack. So we can infer that she's probably going to school, right? Why else would she really have a backpack? Maybe work, but that really wouldn't make sense unless she's working at like a library or something. So she is running late for school, okay? That's what we can infer. This one I think I may use as a assignment, so look out for that. But hopefully these examples have made sense. Remember, inferencing is you have to know what's happening in the text first, so use your summary skills and use the text evidence and your own background knowledge in situations, what you do in your life or have done in your life to make inferences, make these predictions, make these educated guesses that's not clearly stated in the text, right? That's what inferencing is reading between the lines, about characters, about events, the story as a whole, right? But yeah, hopefully this makes sense. If you have any questions or you're struggling with it, let me know. Please do the Renaissance testing and the yearly review. I think that's going to be your last major grade. A lot of you have already turned it in, so thank you for that. Make sure you have completed the other major assignments, the 3-week assessment and the 6-week assessment. But yeah, if you have any questions, message me on Schoology or email me, and I'll see y'all here next week for STAR testing. Bye.